We have come to divide the year into 4 seasons in the non-tropical Northern Hemisphere: the cold of winter, the warming and greening of spring, the warmth or heat of summer, and the cooling and leaf-changing of autumn. However, on rare occasions, the weather does not behave in accordance with the season. This list will go over some of the rare cases where the weather has taken an unseasonal turn or acted in an unusual way. 10. 1992 Alberta Chinook. Every few years, the Canadian province of Alberta experiences a bout of warm air and weather known as a Chinook. However, this was the most notable and distinctive one to visit Alberta. Southern Alberta was actually basking in warm, summer-like sunshine on February 27, 1992, with Calgary reaching a high of 72.7 degrees Fahrenheit. In comparison, the average high temperature for that date and location is 34.3 degrees Fahrenheit, and Calgary has seen days in March where the high temperature does not exceed -20 degrees Celsius on occasion. In a typical year, Calgary does not see its first 20-degree day until April, and in some years, May, but this is the first time this Albertan city has ever seen one in February. 9. 2010 Russia heat wave. In the summer of 2010, Russia experienced scorching, unbearable heat, with temperatures reaching the high 40s in some areas. Heat stroke and forest fires killed many people, estimated at 15,000 but possibly more. The hot weather continued throughout July and August. 8. 2010 Ontario April heat wave. When do you think is the best time of year to fire up the grill, put on your shorts and t-shirt, and head to the beach in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada's capital city? Perhaps in July or August, when the average temperature is 26 degrees Celsius, but definitely not outside of June, September, or late May. What about April? To top it off, early April? Most years, that would be out of the question, as the average high temperature in the first week of April is around 7 degrees Celsius. But if you came in 2010, things would be very different. A heat wave from the south soaked Ontario, and Ottawa was hit with 2 consecutive hot days. On April 2nd, the temperature reached 82.8 degrees Fahrenheit, and on April 3rd, it reached 83.3 degrees Fahrenheit. Everyone was surprised that the temperature could soar so high at that time of year, and the weathermen had to declare, "This is not an April Fool's joke." 7. 1992 Summer Cold Snap. We've gone from extremely hot to extremely cold. In the same year as the 1992 February Chinook, Calgary experienced some unusual winter weather on August 23rd, when the temperature only reached 41.5 degrees Fahrenheit. In addition to the cold, there was 0.4 centimeters of snow. Consider wearing a winter coat to the bus stop or the supermarket in August. That's an impossible concept to fathom. 6. Fast temperature increase. How about a quick temperature increase? On January 22, 1943, the temperature in Spearfish, South Dakota, USA, rose from -4 degrees Fahrenheit to 45 degrees Fahrenheit in, wait for it, only 2 minutes. 5. Extreme January cold. The western US and Canada froze to the bone in January 1950. That month was infamous, according to residents of Washington State, and it was below freezing virtually non-stop in Vancouver, Canada. Following a balmy November and ordinary December, the monthly high in Vancouver was -2.9 degrees Celsius, the lowest ever recorded and the only time the city's daily average high for January has been below zero. While Vancouver had an average high temperature of 6.1 degrees Celsius in January, Calgary never experienced a temperature above zero throughout that month, with an extreme high of -6.7 degrees Celsius on January 5th and an average monthly high of -20.4 degrees Celsius. 4. Extreme cold winter to extreme hot summer. The streets of Vancouver were blanketed in snow in December 2008. Christmas was truly white, with knee-deep snow making walking and driving difficult. The temperature remained consistently below freezing, with a low of -15.2 degrees Celsius recorded on December 20th, only 2.6 degrees Celsius higher than the record low of -17.8 on January 14, 1950. In contrast, July 2009 was quite the opposite. In Vancouver, the temperature rarely reaches or exceeds 86 degrees Fahrenheit. In fact, this occurs approximately once every 5 years. However, for days in July in Vancouver saw temperatures rise above 30 degrees. 2 of these days broke the previous record of 33.3 degrees set on August 9, 1960, and the new record was set on July 30, 2009, at 34.4 degrees. Talk about going from extreme to extreme. 3. Warm 2004 spring. The spring of 2004 was Canada's warmest on record. April was particularly warm, with many places setting new high temperatures. Osoyoos had an average high of 17.6 degrees Celsius in April, while Vancouver had an average high of 13.1 degrees. Many cities set records. Calgary had a high of 25.4 degrees Celsius on March 30th, and Edmonton had a high of 24.2 degrees Celsius on the same day. On May 1st, Vancouver had a high of 24.3 degrees Celsius, 21.5 on April 11th, and 18.5 on March 29th. Osoyoos had high temperatures of more than 15 degrees for 29 of the 30 days in April. Everyone had a pleasant spring. 2. Miracle snow. Residents of Homestead, Florida, a city with a northern latitude of 25 degrees, were taken aback when they received a light dusting of snow on January 19, 1977. It was their first recorded snowfall, and no snow has fallen since. To top it all off, Homestead is a sea-level city with no elevation. Residents were not only perplexed, but also alarmed by the cold, white flaky substance that fell from the sky. The cold harmed many plants, including crops, and many people did not believe the weather forecaster's miraculous prediction of cold with rain showers and a chance of snow. The weatherman had to explain what snow was and what it could do, but many people simply thought he was pulling their legs and did not take his warning seriously. 1. Year without summer. Mount Tambora erupted in 1816, blanketing the atmosphere with ash and dust. Sunspots were visible to the naked eye, and frost was still present in Western Europe, the northeastern United States, and Canada in May and June. Around 1,800 people died from frostbite and starvation as crops failed to mature. In July and August, people as far south as Pennsylvania reported seeing lake and river ice.